Hello again. Well, I posted that video on Ferguson, and I said that I anticipate riots breaking out pretty much all over. And I also posted that video about that little 5-year-old girl that was shot sitting on her grandfather's lap in her own home. And it's received a number of interesting comments. What's amazing is that black on black lives seem to be pretty much worthless. And I don't mean to say that in a cruel, racist kind of way. If they weren't worthless, do you not think that someone would do something about it? Do you not think that the Attorney General might go to Chicago to see what he can do? Do you not think that the chosen one might want to go back to his city to see what he could do? One of my viewers sent me some information. I'm going to try to verify it, but what they sent was that between August 1st and November 4th, how many blacks do you think were killed and murdered in Chicago? We're talking, August, September, October, November, a 3-month period. Actually, less than that. August 1st, November 4th. That's 2 months and 4 days. How many do you think were killed, murdered, slaughtered? Well, if I told you 50, would that seem to be excessive? If I told you 100, would that seem to be excessive? What if I told you 138? Well, that's the number that my viewer has sent me. 138 black lives were snuffed out. Did you hear about it? Did you hear the rage that's going on in Washington because of it? I haven't. It's really amazing. And yet when there's some incident like Ferguson, where a police officer is viciously attacked by a 285-pound psychopath that's first tried to take away his gun while he was in his own car, got shot in the arm when he tried to grab the officer's gun, or shot in the hand, runs away, and in a rage turns and charges the officer after having punched him in his right eye. And people all over the country are up in arms against the officer. One of my viewers asked me why there were so many shots fired. And he wrote, or she wrote, that they thought that it was like overkill. I don't know what kind of weapon the officer had. I suspect he might have had a 9mm. 9mm are probably okay, but they're not going to be all that effective on a 285-pound individual that's possibly on drugs and charging you, unless you hit him in a vital spot like in the head, which is what finally brought Brown down, according to the autopsy. Now, when you've got someone charging you and you're in fear of your life, especially after having been hit in the eye the way I believe Officer Darren Wilson was hit in the eye, and his right eye was probably all swollen. And I've done videos on this. If you notice, all the bullets landed on the right side of Michael Brown as he was charging the officer, because the officer was probably only using his left eye to sight. And if he would have had like a .40 caliber or a .45 caliber, I think Michael would have been dropped a whole lot sooner than he was. That might explain the number of shots. The other thing that would explain the number of shots is pure adrenaline. When someone's charging at you, it doesn't take a lot of force to pull a trigger. and a semi-automatic will go off as often as you pull the trigger. But I sort of went off topic. I wanted to let people know how our government, that is mainly controlled, I think, at the top by blacks, seem not to care about blacks. They'd rather attack the whites. And Chicago is a perfect example. What's also interesting about Chicago is the restrictive gun laws that they have. And yet, 138 people died in a 2-month period. They didn't die, they were murdered, shot to death. I don't know, folks. I don't know.